When the 18-year-old daughter of a California family disappeared last year, we were contacted by the family and subsequently documented their attempts to find her. Our report aired in November, one family's efforts to contact a child who had joined a cult. In this case, the Moonies, so-called because its members believe the Reverend Sun Myung Moon is the Messiah. After months of intense searching, the family was led to this house on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. While it looked as if the story would end here, it did not. Their daughter, Catherine, refused to leave.
Catherine, I love you. I just want to see you. Because I don't know when I'll see you next, and I want you to explain to me so that I can know for myself why you can't see me. And no matter what's going on, I love you, and I'd like to talk with you for a minute.
No matter what's going on, I love you too, and I cannot see you right now, okay?
2 days after our story aired, the Unification Church allowed Catherine to go home to visit her family. She since has decided not to return to the cult, and this morning she joins us here in New York. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Katie.
Good to see you. First of all, let's just go back, if we could, for a moment. Why were you attracted to this organization? How did they get you involved?
Well, in a sense, one isn't really attracted. They recruit. I met someone on Broadway. I was living in New York at the time. They had a survey asking questions about things I was really interested in, and they happened to have an office in the building where I'd just gotten a job. So I went up with them, and they told me they were having a 7-day seminar on world leadership, which I was very interested in. And they talked about spirituality and leadership and family and things that were really important to me. So I thought, well, I don't know, this is not something I would normally do, but it seems like a really safe group, really supporting things that I support, and why not just see what they have to offer?
And it took, what, about a week before Reverend Moon's name was ever mentioned, is that right?
Yeah, I had no idea that it was connected with Reverend Moon. In fact, I asked if their organization was connected with the Unification Church, and they flatly denied it.
What happened next? What was your life then like once you slowly, I guess, became a part of this?
Well, I mean, your life changes. The one thing that's constant is your schedule is always packed. You always get up, go to a lecture, have a break, go to a lecture, have a break, eat lunch, do sports, come back, have a lecture, have a break, have a lecture, and then all the way up until dinner, you have dinner, then you do something like casual, and then you go to bed. So every day, from the time when you are just being introduced to the doctrine to when when you've given up your life to make money for Reverend Moon, what continues is your days packed with just doing things that are related to the group.
Do you feel as if you were brainwashed?
Well, brainwashed, or I think the better term is mind controlled. There are several techniques that almost any group can use on almost anyone to influence their thinking.
You also, it was exacerbated by the fact that you were getting, 3 hours of sleep a night, so you were very sleep deprived, is that right?
Well, actually, in my case, sleep deprivation was not the most important factor in the mind control. In my case, the control of information was much more important.
How was that carried out, the control of information?
It was incredibly strict. I mean, there were no newspapers, no televisions, no phone calls made alone. I did not leave the premises of their training camp for over a month. There is someone who's been in the organization a long time always with you. So you can't have conversations among other new members without them being aware of what you're talking about. So there's no exchange of information, there's no incoming information.
What about the efforts by your family? I mean, it was just so heartbreaking to see your little brother trying desperately, pleading with you to come and just hug him or tell him you were okay to have some kind of contact with him. Would they not allow you to do that?
Well, as far as that situation with my brother was concerned, I was instructed. I mean, I went to the woman who was my authority figure. I asked her if I could see my brother, and she said, no way.
And even when they finally acquiesced and allowed you to see your mother, you were very robotic.
Right.
Why did you behave that way?
Well, what mind control does is it takes away you. I mean, that's what makes it really so horrifying and such a horrible, dangerous thing, because the worst thing that you can be in a mind-controlled environment in a cult is you. I mean, everything that you enjoy, everything about who you are becomes satanic unless it can be used for the purpose of the cult. Otherwise, it's selfish, it's self-indulgent, it's for the purpose of Satan, you know.
A relationship with anybody in your family is self-indulgent and
Yes.
satanic as well?
Yes. I mean, I was supposed to give up everything, you know, everything from the past to embrace a new life as a follower of the Messiah, especially because my family did not espouse the same values that Unification Church espouses.
How difficult was it, Catherine, for you to extricate yourself from the Unification Church once they gave you permission to leave? Was that difficult?
Well, I was having such a difficult time there by the time the Today Show had been aired, by the time I had been like slugging it out with my family for over a month. I mean, these people are like the most important people in my life, and
These people
meaning my mother and my brother, and having to go through that, I was having an extremely difficult time in the church. And when I had the opportunity, I think, to talk to my stepfather, I think I was so broken down at that point that I thought, I may be rejecting the truth, but I can't go on here.
Before we go, and we only have a few seconds left, do you have any advice for other young people who are approached by these groups or by the Moonies or for their families? Well,
I would say just make sure whatever group you're approached by, get information, make sure you get brochures, and if they say that you can't take a day or two to think about whatever they want you to do, then you know it's probably not a good group. Get information, take time away to find out as much as you can about who they say they are. Make sure you don't go anywhere with anyone who says if you don't go now, you'll never be able to go, because that's the way they get you, you know. And just find out everything you can, research, talk to friends, that kind of thing. And for families people who are in the church or in any cult, I would just say, don't ever give up, because there are people who've come out of cults after 30 years. And the worst thing that you can do is sign your child or your loved one over to a group that will steal their soul, basically.
Okay. Catherine, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much for coming in, and best of luck to you. I know you're going to be taking art classes, and good luck with your new life.
Okay.
Tell your family we said hi. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Today on NBC.